Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. It's Fly Eagles Fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
It's
Here
a
comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, my dude, Dig back here and welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast with Philly 501 Joey Shakes. Joey, what is going on, my man? How are you?
I feel good, man. Another week, another game, a lot to talk about today, a lot of stuff to talk about today. So it's a big day tomorrow.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, and I'm sorry we're late. That's on me. I was having computer problems, and I'm too stupid to even know what I did to fix it. But it wound up working. So finally, we're here. What is going on, everybody? Twits, what's up? Logan Motorsports, Jack, what is happening? Thank you guys so much for being here. Jolo, Big Ben, Akeem, Cherokee Metal, James, Battle Made Bainbridge. What is going on? MJ, what is happening? Thank you guys so much for being here. Go after yourself, Eagles Clips, and everybody. Will Welsh, welcome to Daybat Nation. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. And Joey, I mean, listen, I think every game in December or January is important. It's very important when you're trying to win your division, when you're trying to get home field throughout the playoffs. And with Washington on a bye week, I mean, we go, like a three games ahead and really could put a stranglehold on the division with a win tomorrow, man.
Yeah,
we can't take that team lightly. We can't.
No. It's you can't overlook any games now. This is where it's really important, and you're starting to see all the combinations of if this team beats that team and this team beats that team, and all these combinations. But at the end of the day, the Eagles got to take care of business every single week, and that's we can't rely on anybody else. We got obviously we can't do that, so we have to really rely on ourselves, and hopefully some other teams kind of slow down a little bit. So
right,
that's what we're hoping.
Right. Exactly. Big Mixes, what's up? What's going on? Slithering Cobras, what's happening? Mike, Tanner, what's going on? Dad says draft Tyler Warren. I probably get about 10 messages a day with Tyler about Tyler Warren.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not even in that mode yet, I can't be there yet, but yeah, why not? Humble Servant, what's going on? Holy Tomato says, Mary, kiss my ass. All right, Mary, kiss your ass. What's up? Fugly Gang, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, realistically, do you see us getting the 1 seed? Well, listen, the number 1 seed took a big hit on Thursday. In terms of tiebreakers, if we're tied with Detroit, it's going to be, we're not going to win it now, most likely. Which if they're 14-2 and 15-2 and 14-3. Now, if we finish one game ahead, that's still possible because can Detroit lose 2 more games? Yeah, they could. They could lose to Buffalo, and then they could lose, let's say, to Minnesota. But we have to finish with a better record than them. So it took a hit. It's not impossible, but we need Detroit to stumble. I hate to say it, but that dang Atlanta, that loss is going to come back and haunt us. Really,
yeah, I get it. Trust me.
And I thought that Detroit game, I think Detroit showed you they can be beat. They can be beat, and I'm telling you, dude. I don't know what it is with the refs, but anything that goes against us, they do. I thought that was some of the worst officiating. Like that was Kansas City level officiating in that Green Bay Detroit game. I mean, there was offensive pass interference, there were push-offs, there were holds, and Detroit got every call.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Dave D, man, thank you for Super Chat. You do give us the great work. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you so much, man. Thank you. And listen, and tomorrow, I know we're playing a pretty bad team. and if the Eagles come ready to play, this game will be over by the third quarter. But, you got to be ready to play. And if you do, you stay on the heels of Detroit. You go 3 games up in your division, and you become in really good position,
Yeah, true.
Yeah. D, what's going on, man? Thank you for Super Chicos. What's up, Philly and Joey? I'm getting so how shit talk about how many teams Lions are better than our Eagles. I'm going to say the Eagles, Lions, FC. The Lions and the Eagles are the top, like the cream of the top of the NFC. And I think the Eagles are very capable of beating. I think the Eagles' defense is better than the Lions' defense.
Oh, by a mile.
And I think that's going to be the big factor. Now, playing in Detroit will be loud. It will be hard to hear. The Lions have never had or hosted an NFC Championship game ever, so it's unprecedented territory. Which King, a member for 52 months ago, every time Georgia has won SEC Championship under Kirby Smart, we went to the Super Bowl that year. They won it again earlier today. Well, that's a good sign. Yeah. Fugly Gang, they were Super Chat goes, if the Packers had 1 ounce of pass D, they would lose. The Lions would have lost. Yeah, their defense stinks. It does. It does. But like I said, the Lions took care of their business. Now we got to take care of ours. I know that this is like, I don't know, in a weird way, like it almost feels like people are just like, all right, let's just get to that Pittsburgh game. But you got to win this game, man. This is important.
Yeah, it's true.
The Eagles need to stop being pussies, especially against a team like Carolina, and just jam it down their throat like 10 runs in a row in the first drive. I'm kind of with you. Like I think this is the game you try to figure out your first quarter struggles. Like, don't you think the best way to just fix it is just to come out, run the ball? I mean, I think that would instantly take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, to not have a slow start. I mean, even what Kellen Moore said, even the press conference this past week, I don't know if are they doing this on purpose to feel out the defense, see what they're getting like matchup wise, or I don't even know. I mean, it's just weird how every single game is the exact same thing. Most of these games have been the same in these first halves. So this is a game where you want to get in and you want to get out as fast as possible, get those backups in there and really rest these guys for Pittsburgh, because then if you go into that second half keeping it close and then you have to put in all this work at the end of the game, it's no good. Mm-hmm. So it's got to change.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I agree. I just think that they want the philosophy, it's like Nick used to say, we pass first and then we run late. I think that's how they want it to be, but I think defenses know. See, a lot is being made of, well, the Eagles passing defense is 28th. Are they good enough passing team to win? And it's like, if you take the first quarter struggles out of it, what do they rank then? That's what I would want to know. And also, when you run the ball so effectively, of course your passing numbers aren't going to be as good. Like, to me, I don't think it's as big of a concern as people are trying to make it. People act like it's going to be what cost us winning the Super Bowl. I disagree 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. Deep Space at 500. Will you rest the stars week 17 if you can't get the 1 seed? Yes. Yeah, if I can't get the 1 seed, yeah, I would. Michael says, I wonder who the 4th safety is on the depth chart for tomorrow's game. Obviously, CJ and McCallum are starters, and Maddox is the backup. Who is after Maddox?
Andre Sam's activated for the game.
Report today. There you go.
Yeah,
and that would be it. The toilet smoke at David Super Checkers. The Eagles need the Lions and Chiefs special secret ingredient because the rest slurping hard. Oh man, it was brutal, dude. It was brutal. But man, the Eagles just take care of business. I think we'll be fine, man. I think that we got the defense. We got the corners for it. I love the rookies. How about that hit, man? Do we talk about that hit by Cooper DeJean last week? Damn.
Oh yeah, dude.
That was ridiculous.
It's been talked about all week. Everybody's been interviewing him, just like, "How what did you do? And what was your mindset?" And I guess and obviously, and I noticed that a lot of these tackles of Derrick Henry, they were low, like they were they were told to tackle him. I mean, you don't want to tackle the guy high at all, but they,
Right.
we used to laugh at the way this team tackled.
I know.
Remember
They don't miss tackle.
they were using like when Seth Joyner had like the donut. They were tackling the donut, and then remember we were laughing at the. They were actually tackling their own like assistant coaches, like literally keeping the damn bag and tackling them on a mat. So
it's crazy.
It's
crazy. Great tackle, man. Listen, DB Cooper. DB Cooper, I just call him DB Cooper. He stole Henry. He stole Henry, man. That was great. That was great. Speaking of DB Cooper, we do got DB Cooper shirts. We got some good merchandise. Actually, let me show you guys. We got some Christmas stuff. Just speaking of merch, real quick. Let me show you what we got. We got a little ad here. We're gonna run. So we got some good sales and stuff going on for Christmas and stuff. So I'll show you. Check this out. No. Yeah, dude.
We get our weapons! Oh, this is the greatest night of my life!
Yes. Thank
Memories.
you to our boy Omar for putting that together for us. So link is in the description for the store if you guys want to get some stuff. That DB Cooper has been selling, like that's been a real popular one. I've had a lot of requests about that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Just thought about that, talking about Cooper. Now Cooper tomorrow, he's gonna have to do punt returns again. I mean, it looks like Covey's out, man. Covey's out, and we should also bring up that today Goddard goes to the IR. So Goddard's pretty much done for the year. He's done until the playoffs, right? He can come back. He can come back for the playoffs, and they're going to need him, but he's pretty much done for the rest of the year.
How do they not have another punt returner? I mean, really, how is there nobody else, dude? Like, seriously, like I know they got rid of John Ross, like why not Will Shipley do, I know he does kick return, but like Anais Smith, I don't even know if we even trust him at this point. I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Anais Smith? No, I don't. I think you have to, just go with it. Radiation, my favorite super chat. You can't fall for the trap. Panthers are feisty now. Panthers have been playing much better of late. They have. And they're going to come in and they're going to fight for about 2 quarters, hopefully. And, we take over. Now, I mean, Barkley, shout out to Saquon Barkley, but he's on the verge of setting the Eagles' all-time rushing record. So he's about to break Shady McCoy's record. I think it's like 1,300 plus yards. But he's about to break that and set the Eagles' all-time rushing record for a season. He could have a big day tomorrow. This is like the worst worst rush defense in the league, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look, because I think like yesterday, I think what the Ravens gave was the first time where I don't think Gainwell even had a touch like all day. He went in a few times, but he didn't have a touch all game, which is really different. So,
did anybody miss it? I didn't miss it. I didn't go. Oh, geez,
I didn't really
get Gainwell the ball.
No,
I didn't think that once.
I didn't really care at all.
No. But yeah, you're right. He didn't. Fabio Davis Super Chat goes, we get called for O-line downfield and the Lions don't. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Hung me out. Thank you for Super Chat. But man, he goes, are you taking Mark Holmes to a mental hospital? Yeah, I'm going to have to check him in, dude. That dude's a mess. And now he's got the false hope of the playoffs. So he's only propped himself up to fall again. It's going to get bad. Skid Marks, David Super Chapman, he goes, Eagles can win in any stadium. Coming here is different. Yeah, absolutely. The Eagles could definitely win in any stadium. I totally believe that. But I do believe you're right. I do believe playing at the Link, like if they had to play the Lions at home outside, I think that's a giant advantage for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
The appealing thing for me, the 1 seed is the bye week. Because we had a bye week. What was our bye week? Like week 5? It was really early. If we had that bye week going right before the playoffs start, I thought that would have been great.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, Saquon 108 yards away. Jeez, right? It's crazy. John Jones, what's going on, my man? Big Chris Dickerson set the record in 16 games. Incredible. Yeah, I think Eric Dickerson, even though he's a Hall of Famer, I consider him maybe the most underrated running back. Nobody ever talks about Eric Dickerson, and he was awesome. Nick Davis Superchat goes, Barkley's over-under is 114 tomorrow. I would definitely take the over in that game.
Yes.
Dude. He might have that by halftime. I'm just saying, he might have that by halftime. You know, the game tomorrow, you got to take care of business, and you can't take them lightly because we've seen teams take other teams lightly before and then they get beat. And then of course you want to stay healthy. You know, you got to stay healthy. I know there's a big game with Pittsburgh coming, but to me, in a lot of ways, this is a more important game because this is a conference game. This counts for the conference. So to me, I look at it as a must-win game. Technically, it's not, but it is.
No,
if you want any chance at that one seed.
No, every game's a must-win game. I mean, look, not only do you want to win these games, but you want to look consistent and you want to look great. Especially, I wouldn't say that the Eagles have looked great against, besides maybe the Giants. They haven't looked great this year against bad teams. They didn't look great against the Jags because Sirianni had a lot of control in that game. They didn't look good against the Browns. They won by 4 points. They didn't, Sirianni had a lot of control in that game. The analytics kind of took over for those games. Seems like they really just pushed the fucking mold, didn't just take the points at certain instances. So this is a game. Just play like you've been playing, and hopefully this first half could just get somewhat of a lead here. Something,
right?
They're playing but can they survive playing from behind all the? The Ravens game that made me a little nervous. Like they were already down 9-0. It's not much, but they seem to know how to play from behind. Like I understand like their philosophy, what they're doing, I guess.
Well, it's like that. But see, that's what scares me when you play Detroit. Okay, you play Detroit, and let's say you have those starts where you don't get going until second half of the second quarter. You play a team like Detroit. What if your defense is a little off, and all of a sudden they're scoring touchdowns early? You go down 14-0, 21-0. That's when it becomes a problem. When the defense is playing good and they're on par, you're going to be fine because they're going to hold you in it. But what if the defense is a little off or make a bad play and those teams are scoring touchdowns? Then all of a sudden you're down 21-0. They've got to figure out what is going on and why they're struggling in the first quarter. I think it's because they come out and they want to pass the ball. They want to throw. They want the big plays downfield. And it's very much, I believe, what Nick wanted to do last year. I really believe that. I think if they came out, and I'm not saying you have to give Saquon Barkley 10 extra carries. All I'm saying is just, change up how you allocate his carries. So maybe he doesn't get, 16 carries in the second half, but he gets, he gets 10 carries in the second half, or, run the ball a little bit more in the first quarter. I would love to see them come out and just establish the run first and foremost. I think that would take care of all their problems.
Yeah. Getting Devontae Smith is huge. Getting him back. He really wanted to play last week, but they kind of forced him not to. So I think that was the right decision. It's weird because the Eagles are winning without Devontae Smith. Seems like Devontae Smith is just a luxury, just coming in this week. So if you don't have Goddard, you have the substitution of Devontae Smith on the field with everything else around. Takes a little bit off AJ, and I know they've been trying to bait him so bad like this past week on, your targets are down 30% this time from last year. They're trying to bait him so bad.
They want him to be mad and complain and be like a diva. That's what they want him to do, so that they can write articles. Oh, AJ Brown only cares about himself. It's such bullshit. He just wants to win. I think all these players understand. that when you have a guy like Saquon doing what he's doing right now, like you got to go with it. When you got a guy that's like on pace to break the rushing record in the NFL, I mean, you got to use him. It would be criminal. Do you know how bad we would be killing Nick Sirianni if Saquon Barkley had 12 carries in a game?
I got someone at my door. Hold.
Okay. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, imagine if you had Barkley only getting 10 carries a game, 12 carries a game, so that they could throw the ball more. It would make no sense. It would absolutely make no sense. So I think A.J. Brown, I think Devontae Smith, I think they all understand that. And mark my words, Devontae Smith will make a major play during the playoffs or at some point, Super Bowl, whatever, that will be important, be crucial, will be super important to the Eagles. He is going to do something great in the playoffs. I truly believe that. Oh, Danito says, why have one bye week during a wild card weekend when you can have 2 bye weeks in the last 2 weeks of the regular season? That's because they want the extra game, I guess. I mean, we should really go back to where you have top 2 seeds have bye weeks. If they did that, I wouldn't even care about the 2 seed. I'd be saying 1, 2 seed, I don't care. Just get a bye week. That's all I want. I want the bye week. We could go to Detroit and beat them in Detroit. Nick, that you were super chat goes, why should we draft Tyler Warren? Got hurt too much. Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying. Listen, I think you're going to have to address tight end early in this draft. But I think more importantly, I still think you need to go get another pass rusher.
You know? Oh, yeah. I mean, the Dallas Goedert situation is just – I mean, thank God you have Calcaterra here. Thank God Calcaterra has taken over the last, couple years of, when Goddard's been hurt the last few years. So this is like his 3rd injury. Even when he came back from the oblique injury, he had an injury. He had an ankle injury after the next game he played. So 29 years old, 2 more years left on his contract. And, maybe they keep him for another year. I mean, they probably will. But they need to start thinking about the future at that position because Calcaterra won't be a number 1.
I would keep him. I wouldn't get rid of him. I would keep him. I would treat him like you treated Ertz, right? The last few years, like bring in a tight end, a really good young tight end, and let him play behind Goddard for a few years. Yeah. I think you need a tight end, but I also think if this defense, if you added a premier elite pass rusher on the edge to this defense, I think you may have one of the best defenses the league has seen in like 10 to 15 years. I think that's where it's going. The Eagles are really like a really elite pass rusher from, I think, being possibly a defense that we haven't seen since probably the Seattle defense, the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, I think it's one move away. I completely agree. I think it's totally one move on that edge to get because it's going to help because like Jalen Carter may not getting those sack numbers up by a lot in some games, but let me tell you, between his hurries, his pressures are averaging 7 to 9 a game, and just being so disruptive, which is helping someone else make a play. So. It's so close, man. So close. But they got the 3-man rotation going on. Charles Harris, we'll see if he's in the lineup, what's going on. Another game for Jalix Hunt as well. Fangio said he was good. He was bad, but, he hasn't played. He hasn't had this many snaps. He hasn't been this involved with the line. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, guys, would you trade a 2nd-round pick and a 3rd in the following year for Brian Burge from the Giants? We have to give them a lot because they won't trade with us. I probably wouldn't. No, I probably wouldn't. Because one, I don't want to give the Giants anything.
No.
But the other reason is like he's already getting his $30 million plus. I want somebody younger. Like I want somebody, well, how old is Burns, first of all? I guess it would depend on the age,
Yeah, but still, look at the sample size we're getting with all this youth. Like, how do you not want to get more youth on this team?
Well, right, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, if I could draft a guy, that would be that would be huge. You know what I mean? That would be huge. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Legion of Boom. You never heard of the Legion of Boom? That's what they called the Seattle Seahawks defense back when they had that really good secondary. They were called the Legion of Boom. So I think, I think we could have something. I think something. I mean, really, that's probably right. The last really good defense that we've seen in the NFL. I mean, I can't think of another defense. I think that's probably the last defense we've seen that had its own nickname and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we could be up there. If you look at this defense, Jalen Carter. I mean, look, we talk about defensive rookie of the year, Zach Bond. I mean, defensive player of the year. Like Zach Bond, it should be defensive player of the year if you look at his numbers, basing it on numbers. But Jalen Carter is a reason for a lot of that, and he won't get the credit because he might not have the sack numbers and stuff like that. But Jalen Carter's dominance in this league is very, very apparent. And when you look at him, you look at the young guys you have in the secondary. I think you have even Nakobe Dean. I mean, Nakobe Dean's a hell of a linebacker now. Zach Bond's only 27. Hopefully you resign him.
Yeah.
When you look at this defense, you add a young guy that can get 12, 15 sacks a year. This is going to be a defense that's going to be good for a lot of years.
Yeah, you check the power rankings of the NFL this week. Yeah, Jalen Carter's the number 1 DT. Zach Bond's the number 1 linebacker. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, dude. I don't have it on me, but I was reading a thing and I showed it on my videos. Zach Bond is got better numbers than Luke Kuechly had the year he won defensive rookie or defensive player of the year. I mean, he's up there number wise. He's better. He's got better numbers. So I mean, how he won't get it because it seems like in the NFL it's a popularity contest, and you need that 1 year where you get screwed, and then you kind of get your name out there, and then the next year you kind of start to get your due. The same thing with Carter. When Carter's going to have 10, 12 sacks a year? When they start calling holding penalties. When they finally start calling holding on him and offenses can't get away with it anymore, all of a sudden you're going to see his sack numbers shoot up. They're going to shoot up.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, thank you for the super chat. Goes, I really think we trade for Garrett or Crosby soon. I mean, we'll see. But I want somebody young, man. I want young. I want like guy 25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
If he or I want a nice, how about draft? If we could get a guy in draft, would be great. Fugly David Super Chat goes, y'all have a plan. Let's leave Kenny at Carolina, kidnap Miles, bring him back home. The Penn State running back duo would be insane. Don't tell Kenny, though. I like the idea. I'll tell you this. Miles would have been perfect backup.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect in-between guy. But Miles stinks in Carolina, though. He's got 39 carries all year.
He's not even. I mean, even when he got there, he wasn't even averaging like 4 yards a carry. Like it was bad. I mean, get Will Shipley in. I mean, Will Shipley, dude, like that guy's got talent. I know he does. Like I think as a dual threat type running back for Kellen Moore's system, like I'm telling you, dude, like I'm really hoping they give him a shot. I really do.
Yeah. 2005 Steelers and 2013 Seahawks won Super Bowls on run game with shitty passing game and good defense. Like I said, the Seahawks that year had the Legion of Boom. They had a really good defense. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. I do not believe, okay, and I know a lot of people disagree with this. I do not personally believe that the Eagles' passing game is because their quarterback can't throw. And that's what a lot of people think. They just, won't come out and just say it, but that's what they think. I think that their passing numbers aren't that big and much better. They're not much better because they have Saquon Barkley and the amount that they use a running back.
Yeah.
Now, if you take away the first quarter, all right, and this is what I want to know. I don't know the answer to this, but take away the first quarter struggles out, take it out of the equation, and then tell me what the Eagles' passing game looks like against the other teams in the league. I bet you they're ranked a lot higher because I think that, one, their passing numbers get hurt by the amount of, they use Barkley, And then 2, I also think it gets hurt by the first quarter struggles. And I don't believe the first quarter struggles are because they have a quarterback that can't throw. I believe it's because everybody in the league knows what they're going to do when they come out early in the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at, you know why? Because Hurts isn't, because they're not seeing all this flash, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. You see like Emmanuel Acho, like, complain, like they're hiding something. Like, how is a guy only throwing 16 to 19 times a game and he, and they're just winning like this? And I would give a team more respect that the quarterback barely has to do much. Like, that should be more of a compliment to like the way they run things, because if Hurts has to do almost a lot less than other quarterbacks, that the coaching is great and the weapons are just that's just good. That's just good from the GM. That's good from the ownership. That just looks good all around from the front office, to be honest. That's me though. You know.
Yeah. Nick, David Super J goes, how high is Nolan Smith's ceiling, you think? That's a great question. I think Nolan Smith has come a long way. I actually think, and when I talk about the Eagles need one more premier pass rusher, I consider Nolan Smith part of that equation. I'm thinking about him because I think you need 2 guys. You're going to lose possibly Josh Sweat, and you're going to probably either this year or next year, you're going to lose Brandon Graham again. So I think you need one more pass rusher. I think Nolan Smith's ceiling is like I think he can be a double-digit guy. I think he could be a 10 to 13 sack guy every year. I think Pro Bowl type player. I think he's there. I think that's his ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on like what do the Eagles want him to do in the next few years when it comes to like, does he need to gain weight? He's obviously needs more tools in his toolbox. He's just getting better, more polished as a edge rusher. But I mean, since the bye, he's been really good.
He's good. He's
fine.
Good. I like the way he plays, man. I do. Dude, you look at a guy like Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham, his first 3 years was considered a bust, and he goes down as one of the greatest Eagles of all time now. You look at Nakobe Dean. People were writing him off. He's one of the best, I think, best young linebackers in football right now. So Nolan Smith's only in his second year. You gotta give him time, and I think he's getting better and better. I don't know what has he got, like 4.5 sacks?
Yeah.
He might end up with 7, 8 sacks this year. To me, if you told me Nolan Smith ends with 7, 8 sacks in his second year, I would have said that would be a massive plus. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what we wanted with him last year, but they just didn't play him that much last year. Like, so you don't blame Nolan Smith for that. You blame the coaching staff. And then really when we were going downhill, they started playing him a lot more. And, it was just the whole defense was bad. I mean, how good was he going to look getting thrown into that like that? So,
right. Exactly. Roll Philly Dog says Nolan Smith is going to be the guy. Yeah. I mean, he might be. You need somebody else, though, too. So I think he's one guy, and then you need somebody else, But we'll see. Mark says, I agree. We probably have to settle for the number 2 seed. I don't see the Lions losing 2 out of the next 4 remaining. Resting week 18 sounds like a plan. Yeah, well, if they beat Buffalo, then it's over. I think. I think that for the Eagles to get the 1 seed, it's going to have to be a loss to Buffalo and somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they lose to Buffalo, I think the Eagles have a great shot because I think Minnesota has a chance to beat them at the end of the year. So, we're just going to have to see. Like I said, the appealing part of the 1 seed is that bye week. I think the Eagles could go to Detroit and win. But, man, we didn't have bye week we had our bye week 5. So it would be nice if we could get our guys a week of rest,
Yeah, we need it, no doubt.
Yeah. Your boy Silly, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. His view on Hurts thing. I go on the show, and he just lets me talk, but I don't understand. Why so negative on Hurts? I don't get it. I mean, I'll take a guy that can win any day of the week. I don't know why everybody thinks that Hurts has to be like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. You know, you look at Josh Allen. I mean, I'm sorry, but Josh Allen's a great quarterback. He is. But how is he the MVP odds leader with his numbers? His numbers aren't all that great, Joey. He's got like, what, 20 touchdowns? I mean, come on, dude. Saquon Barkley is putting up insane numbers.
Yeah, I mean, take Saquon Barkley out of it. It's because that Josh Allen's more flashy, and unfortunately, it's all about entertainment. It's really what it comes down to. Like, you could take Jalen Hurts' overall touchdowns versus Josh Allen's passing touchdowns, but the league just respects more passing touchdowns, even though they amount to the same amount of points. It's just, I think it's a bunch of BS, but I think
Josh Allen is a good player.
Yes.
He doesn't have the weapons he had before. He's a good quarterback. But if you're going to tell me that he should be the odds favorite to win MVP, when you have a running back who's on a historical pace to possibly break the all-time rushing record, that's going to go over 2,000 yards, you're going to tell me that because he's only a quarterback, that he gets the nod? I think it's crazy. I honestly believe if you put Saquon Barkley, and this is, I swear I believe this, if Saquon Barkley was a Cowboy putting up those numbers right now with the Dallas Cowboys, it wouldn't even be close. He would have already locked up MVP. It would have been locked.
Yeah,
but because he's with the Eagles, we get ripped off.
I think if he's a yard less than breaking the rushing record, then I don't think he gets it. I mean, I think he has to break it for him to be MVP. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous, but I feel like that's where it's heading right now.
I said if he hit over 2,000 yards, I think he gets it. But you're right. He might need the rushing record because they're acting like Josh Allen is putting up like 49, 50 touchdown passes. I mean, I don't get. He's a great quarterback. I think he's the second best quarterback in the league, but I don't think he's an MVP. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't even think it's close right now, to be honest with you. Burrow is putting up way bigger numbers than him. They just got to lose. They just don't win any games. So to me, I don't see how Barkley isn't.
Derrick Henry hit 2,000 yards. He never got MVP.
Did he hit 2,000 yards? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like a few. It was a few years. Yeah, a few years ago.
But I think 2,000. My argument was that because they've devalued the running back position over the last 3-4 years and acted like it was a dead position, and then it came roaring back this year. This would be the perfect year that if somebody goes over 2,000, in my opinion, to give them the MVP. But not
even that, but the story that's connected to it and like how everything went down. Like, I think every fan out there, I think there was half of a fan base in the NFL saying, man, we want to see Saquon Barkley on another team. We know he's going to be good. And then there's another half that was like, he's injury prone, he's washed, he's got nothing left, blah, blah, blah. So it's really been those two sides.
Yeah.
But like the story that's connected to this whole thing, the Giants let him go. He goes to a division rival, and look what he turns into, the potential that he lost the last 6-7 years, whatever it was. It's a crazy story with it.
It is. I mean, well, especially with the hard knocks really makes it bigger because you got all that access to Sean talking to him on the phone, telling people at the combine that he was, how many carries does this guy have left? He doesn't have he doesn't have the same type of speed. He's like shit like that. So I don't know, but I mean, look, MVP is nice. We want to win a Super Bowl. That's the most important thing.
That's all matters,
at the end of the day. But it's just you want your players and your team to get respect that they deserve. Because I'm sorry, I feel like there's just so many times where we get ripped off because we're the Eagles. Roll Philly Dogs David Super Chat goes, why pass when you don't gotta save the good passing plays for the playoff keeping bland? Yeah, to me it's like, what's more demoralizing to a defense when a team says to you, listen, we're going to run, we're going to run, and you can't stop it. I mean, I don't know, I don't think the passing number thing, I think it's way overrated, and people are just trying to find something to nitpick about, to be honest with you. Nick Davis Super Chat goes, Silly's obsessed with passing stats. Yeah, he likes passing stats, and I get it. In this league, it's a passing league, but the Eagles are not built that way. It's just not. We'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. The Eagles go down 21, they have to throw to get back in it, and he can't do it. Okay, fine. But I don't believe it's as big of a problem, to be honest with you. That's just my point. Bubba says if Josh Allen beats the Lions next week, he's winning the MVP. Even if Barkley breaks the record, Allen will still end up beating Barkley if Josh beats the Lions. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, they love quarterbacks to get the MVP, and it just seems like they want to give it to him. You might be right. Which sucks because I got to root for Josh Allen and the Lions against the Lions next week.
Gonna have to, yeah.
Yeah. Danita says, Phil, what's your prediction for the end of the first quarter? I'm thinking 7-3 Eagles.
Be nice.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be 3-0. I'll say 3-0.
Yeah.
The
Safe.
Eagles don't do nothing the first quarter. Who knows? Maybe that at this point, maybe the play is just keep doing what you're doing in the first quarter, and then as soon as the playoffs start, come out and run the ball and just totally throw teams off. But yeah, I don't know. C to the R says, bro, with Barkley busting out 75 yard runs, why do we kneel at the end of the half instead of handing off to Barkley? I know, you might as well. The guy's capable of breaking it at any time,
Yeah.
Tone says if he breaks it, he's going to get it. I hope so. I think it would be hard not to give it to him if he breaks that record. He could break Dickerson and Johnson's record. He could. He's going to break the record he's going to break the Eagles rushing record tomorrow, most likely. Dude, he's going to break it, and you still got a bunch of games left to play. It's crazy. His numbers are insane. Eagles scored 21 first quarter. Write it down. Oh man, that's what the Eagles need. They need a first quarter like that. Yeah, I do too. I really want them to have a good first quarter. Bryce says, got to win tomorrow. Can't take the Panthers lightly. Yeah, you got to come out. You got to be ready to play, and you got to take care of business. In a lot of ways, this game is more important than that Steelers game because that's a in-conference opponent. Skid Mark says, bro, do you think it could be that they're so afraid of teams scouting game plans, so the Eagles try new plays they put in our offense is not 100% on page with it yet they go back? You mean like they try to do stuff to like throw teams off in the first quarter and they try new things and then they just go back to the bread and butter? I don't know that they're trying to like do new things. I think they want to come out. Nick talked about it over the last few years. Like we're a passing team in the first half and a run team in the second half. And that's what he said in 22. That's what he said in 23. And I think they try to be that in the first quarter. And I think teams know they're going to come out and throw. I do. I think if you came out on the first drive and you ran Barkley a lot, let's say you gave him 4 or 5 carries, he goes in, he scores. The second series, when you get the ball, that play action is there. You could run play action. And I don't think they run enough play action, dude. Like, I think they need more. I would like to see them put Hurts under center and play action, play action to Barkley. Like, you know what I mean? Like, play action, even if you roll Hurts out. But I think they could do a lot more with that than they do.
Yeah, and they haven't really been going for that big play, just to do it at times. They've been a little bit better with that. And there's nothing wrong with trying to get the big play either, like forcing it downfield, or if Hurts is holding the ball in his hands for 3.5 to 4 seconds with no check down, nothing middle of the field, and obviously working on those slants and those crossers, hot routes, things like that. It's got to be more involved in this short passing game. That's what I really like, and let these receivers work for those yak yards. Get these guys involved a little bit. So,
Yeah. Hey, Philly, that's 4, buddy. Remember, we have not just the best running back, We also have 2 of the top 5 wide receivers as well. We don't need them right now, but we will. The switch. I agree. I think before this, like during the playoffs or whatever, I think Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown will make game-changing, game-winning plays.
Mm-hmm.
It will happen. It will happen. Alexa says we need to work on that passing game tomorrow. It's a good test. So yeah, I mean it's a great game for us. We got to take it serious and beyond. But it's a great get right game, especially in that first quarter.
True.
Will Quinyon Mitchell or Cooper DeJean get a pick? They're still looking for their first interception.
Oh, God, this is annoying. I mean, this is like the one pet peeve. I mean, I think it's everybody's at this point. Like, man, they gotta. I mean, you can't. I mean, Bryce Young is gonna have to throw something bad this week, something tomorrow. I don't know.
If Quinyon Mitchell would have 3-4 interceptions, he would have ran away with Defensive Rookie of the Year. It would have ran away with it.
Yeah.
Trayvon Dixon, member for 11 months, says, "Yo, Philly, do you think I could get my mod back now?" Talk to me tomorrow during the game. We'll figure it out. C to the R says, "Why are we saying the Lions can't lose these tough-ass games, but act like we need to be afraid of the Panthers?" No, I don't know. Nobody's afraid of the Panthers. No, they definitely – the Lions can definitely lose 2 games more. I definitely think it's possible. But I think – me personally, I think that one of them's got to be that Detroit game. I think
unless the Vikings have a chance. I mean, that's really the only other game I could think of.
They got the Vikings still. They got the Bears in Chicago. They've got the 49ers in San Francisco, but they're really banged up. I'm not sure who else that they have.
That Bears game was in the bag, bro. That thing could have been right in the bag,
oh my
bro.
God, dude. That game, the Texans game, and even that Green Bay game could have easily gone the other way. But yeah, it happens. Devontae's statement game incoming. I hope he has a 200-yard receiving day, really. Ray also says, "I'm happy to have Barkley. No pressure given to beat the record. He's already surpassed his career Giants stats." Yeah, he shattered it. Chris, a member for 8 months, man. Thank you so much for your support. He goes, "Refs and announcers hate on us the whole game. Left my ass off." It's weird because this year I've been using my headphones to listen to the sound of the game. It's unbelievable. These games, there's you listen to that game versus Baltimore last week. I swear that whole game was all they talked about were the Ravens. The Ravens this, the Ravens that, the Ravens this. It's every week. It's they ignore the Washington game Thursday. All they talked about was Washington. Dude, they just dismiss us so much. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Nick Davis Super Chat goes, "Cilio also said Q isn't a lockdown corner." Why? Because he plays zone? That's probably what he's saying. All I know is whoever he's covering, he locks them down. I don't care. I don't care if you're a man-to-man or you're in zone. You're holding people when you cover them to doing nothing. You're locking down.
Yeah.
500. You're gonna know me as the Nick Sirianni supporter who defends you too. But hey, that's great, Rich. I love it. I think that I think that's fine. I mean, it makes for interesting conversation. That's for sure. I'm not out to hate on Nick. I'm really not. But I just call it like I see it. Go after yourself. Remember for 10 months says, "Hate to be negative, but this could be a trap game." I honestly feel like even if this was a trap game and the Eagles came out played bad, they'd still win. But yeah, I mean, after last year and how everything ended with that season, you got to come out and you got to just you just want to just put this team down early. My hope is that by third quarter we're on cruise control and it's all right. So Barkley's got 175 yards rushing. Eagles are up 34-3. Let's pull our starters. That's what I want.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Spike says the NFL called the Bears as made them tank the Detroit game. They didn't want the NFC Championship in Philly. Yeah, that game was so frustrating because the Bears had 3 chances to win that game, and then they wind up letting 34 seconds just run off the clock, which was really one of the most bizarre things ever.
Bears have another shot.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, they are. But now they fired their coach. I mean, that coach got fired over the whole thing. So,
oh, he came out and said we're getting prepared for next week. I'm like, I think what we did was great. like I don't know, man.
People talk about that, in that Bears game, people talk about the 34 seconds they let run off the clock, which was insane. But there were plays before that. There was a pass where guy was running across the middle, and if Williams just hits him, he's walking in for a touchdown. Then there was a play that they caught the ball and went out of bounds at like the 12-yard line, and they called a penalty. And then they get a sack where nobody blocks a guy, and then that leads to that fourth down. I mean, they had chances.
Yeah.
Everyone's praying for a downfall, I know. But I don't think this team's built with downfall. I mean, you look at this team going into the playoffs. You tell me, out of the AFC and NFC, this is the one team that I think has the defense, man. I do.
That's
I think
the
Eagles
big.
got the defense.
That's the difference. That's the huge difference from last year compared to a lot of other things. But this is the big difference. I mean, how balanced they are on both sides, and with this DC is just what he's turned these players into, and how he's produced these guys is crazy.
Absolutely. The Lord's Grace, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, team should be similar to the Rams' greatest show. Marshall Faulk had 2,200 yards all-purpose. Isaac Bruce, 1,400. Torrey Holt, 1,600. And Kurt had 4,300 yards. But they don't throw as much as that team did. And out of the Faulk, especially with Faulk, I think had, if I remember correctly, and that was one of the best offenses I've ever seen, Faulk had over 1,000 yards rushing and over 1,000 yards receiving. So I think he might have been MVP that year. So I mean, I think it's a great place that you want to get to, but I mean, Kurt Warner was a Hall of Fame passer, man. I've never seen a guy that year be as accurate with his throws as Kurt Warner. I mean, Kurt Warner that year was incredible. I think you strive for something like that, but I just think the way that things have gone this year, I don't think you go away from it. Now, I would like to see Barkley used more in a passing game. I would.
It's been a while. It's been a while since they have done that, to be honest.
Yeah. Joey Zambito, they were super chat goes, you think AJ has another big game with the Steelers? I do. I think so. I think, like a lot of people think, me personally, I think the Steelers are going to get their ass kicked. Because I'm sorry, we've never beat Russell Wilson, and that's the only concern I have. But I don't think they can score on the Eagles. Okay, I mean, Russell Wilson's older. You look at I like Pickens, and then if you look at Najee Harris, he's Rich Eisen. He's too slow. He's not going to have a good running game against
There's
the
no
Eagles.
burst. Yeah,
I don't sweat them at all.
Mm-mm.
Wishing injury on a player. Who did that? Who's wishing an injury? Somebody said something about, I don't understand anybody would want anybody to ever get hurt. Matt says, if 500 asks why you banned him, Bonzology, let him know for you. Let me know what. Banned who? Wait, what?
MG.
Don't ban MG. Just time him out. Time his ass out. Let me see. Man, dude, NG has been getting on everybody's nerves, though, I got to tell you. Like, all I see is just stuff is I'm going after him. I don't know. It's crazy world. Oh, you timed him out? Good. Yeah, time his ass out. I don't know why anybody would want anybody to get hurt. They always say that Eagle fans are so bad or bad. We want to hurt people. We boo this. And it's always everybody else saying our guys to get hurt. I never hear Eagle fans going, oh, I wish we would hurt Dak Prescott. I wish this guy would get hurt. All I hear Eagle fans say is, we want you 100%. We want to keep your team healthy.
Of course.
And then I see all these other teams saying they want our guys hurt. Tyler says Penn State will be playing Arizona State in the opening round of college football playoffs. That's very cool. I will be watching. Shark, they were super chat. Goes, fans give Nick credit for what goes wrong, but no credit for what goes good. If we go back to Super Bowl year, is Nick not the coach of the year? Here's what I'll say. I like when it comes to Nick Sirianni, I feel like I have been fair. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to say I haven't, that I'm too hard on him. But if you look at like when he came to the Eagles, dude, I stuck up for him a lot because what I saw him do that first year was say, you know what? I'm going to change my offense. I'm going to let Steichen call the plays, and I'm going to. And I really was impressed by that. I don't like what happened at the end of the year, and I do blame the coach for that. And then I didn't like some of his game management. I still don't like it. It still worries me. However, he has done a great job this year. And the reason I say it is because the players want to play for him. And he's been letting, I think, have more control of the calls. That he's been okay using Barkley more. So I do think Nick deserves credit. And here's what I'll say, and I'll say this. The part that I give Nick the biggest credit for was, remember the game, like you look at the Washington game, right? Even in the Rams game, where Barkley ran well. He ran okay in the first half, but Nick stuck with it. A lot of times coaches don't stick with it, and then they start going for the big plays. Nick has been sticking with the run game, and it's been paying off late when Barkley wears these teams out. So I think Nick does deserve credit for that. I do. However, I do worry. My biggest concern with Nick is just game management stuff, certain calls and stuff like that when, something comes back and haunt us. But right now, I think Nick is doing a great job. I'm not going to say anything bad about him.
Yeah, he's been involved in 2 to 3 games, a little too much, and he's kind of backed off. Do I feel like we're safe of that anymore? Probably not, but because you never know when it comes, game to game. But no, as long as the players want to play for him, that's the main thing is you don't want to lose your locker room. That's the main thing. Or maybe there's players behind the scenes that are like, oh, this guy's crazy. They think he's a big joke or something like that. But I want to see from the behind the scenes, do they really actually want to play for this guy? And they do, and that's great. So I've been really up and down with Nick since he was here, since obviously giving away play calling, like you said, to Shane Steichen, letting him, be a full-time play caller in 22, and then really reverting back to what he did in 21 with no expertise around him, and then going into 24 off season and really hiring experienced DC, experienced offensive coordinator, experienced assistant coaches like Bobby King at linebackers coach with 10 plus years experience, Clinton Hurt. I mean, a bunch of really good assistants that are producing these guys at a high level. Fantastic. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. And I do. I don't want to be unfair to Nick. He does frustrate me with that. A lot of people get caught up in him yelling and screaming at the fans, and that stuff don't bother me. I just don't like some of the calls and some of the things he's done. But listen, the players play for him. I think he's managing the team well right now. Don't know what's going on in the first quarter. I don't know if that's on him more or what. Yeah. I don't, but he deserves credit. Yeah, I agree with that, Shark.
Yeah, it's like the little things too. I don't know, it was the Jags or the Browns game where he's yelling in the crowd, and then Jalen Carter was in the zone where he was getting fucking held the entire game, and against New Orleans, and then he's kind of flexing a little bit on the sideline, kind of trolling the Saints from the sideline. He's trying to stop what he's doing. I was just just little things like that just annoy me. But that was a while ago, post bye week, and the bye week was apparently not. It wasn't a break, though. The bye week was the change.
Key. Yeah, and that's the key. That to me is where everything changed, because the players went to Nick and they said, we got to start running ball. We got to run Barkley. They said it, right? Lane Johnson, a couple other guys. They went to Nick and talked to him about it, and he listened. Secondly, Jalen Hurts talked about how him and Nick met and talked and aired out their differences, and they moved forward, right? And at that point, everything changed. So I think at that point, I don't think people have been able to really say anything bad about Nick since the bye because of those things. I really think those are a part of it. Bonzology says 500 Jordan Mailata is the highest grade player in all NFL positions. Is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
did you know that?
I've seen the
Wow.
I've seen the snippet of that. Yeah,
guy's a stud, man. Joey Zambito, David Super Chat goes, Nick rests his players. Lions do not, and their whole defense is hurt. I think that's going to hurt them in the postseason and will help our offense. I agree. I also think the Lions, we criticized Nick on some of those fourth down calls. I mean, I'm sorry, dude, but that Lions going for it on fourth down at their own 30. You do that against the Eagles, it's going to backfire on you. I think that the Lions will go for something. They're going to play the Eagles. It's going to be a good game, and if it's in Detroit, the Eagles and them, and it's going to come down to a fourth down call they're going to make, and our defense is going to come up big. I can feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they feel as if they're the most physical team in the league. There's been a lot of complaints this year at the Lions that they like to run up the score a lot on teams and kind of disrespect, on top of, kind of rubbing salt in the wound a little bit at the end of some of these games. So they haven't faced this team yet, and hopefully we get this matchup in the playoffs. And I think it's going to be something that they're really going to regret, whether it's in their house because they're very new to this situation that they're in. And sometimes teams really change in the playoffs when they're, I think under that head coach, they'll still stick to what they're doing. I mean, who knows? But
yeah,
got to play this team though.
Yeah, I mean, if you said to me, "All right, what are you most worried about going into the playoffs?" My number one concern is probably the slow starts. That's the number one thing that scares me. Like, it's not Nick, it's those slow starts. I don't think you can afford those slow starts in the playoffs.
No, it's not Nick. It's not a player. Like, we're just talking about a slow start in the first half. That's really all we're complaining about.
Yeah.
So,
EMG says Nick mismanaged the end of the Falcons game. Probably cost us 1 seed. He did. He did. And Barkley also dropped that ball, and it could really cost us the number 1 seed. It did. But if you go from the bye week on, I mean, I can't really complain. Danielson, thank you for super chat. He says, "Go Birds." Go Birds is right. Let's catch up to this chat here. Donnell, thank you for super chat. Goes, watching the Lions-Packers game, I came out with one thing. The game was called fair on penalties. Why can't we get the same respect? Well, we don't get the same respect. I don't think that game. I thought the Packers, I thought they got ripped off. But to be honest with you, I'm not saying that's why they lost, but there was some, there was a crucial third down play late in that game that put the Lions in field goal range. I mean, it was a clear push off. Like, you could see it a mile away. It was offensive pass interference, and they had just called offensive pass interference the series before on Green Bay. Like, if you're going to call it one way, call it for both teams. You know what I mean? I prefer let the players play. If they're a little handsy, if they're kind of, grabbing each other and stuff like that in the fourth quarter, let it go for both sides. But when you call it one time for one team, then you got to call it the same way. That's my point.
Yeah, I wonder if Nick has submitted anything to the league about some of these holding calls, and I wonder if he did, and if he really didn't. I wonder if it's because the news would get out that he did that, and maybe it would cause some type of distraction to the team, to the roster, if he's submitting tickets into the NFL on that they're missing so many calls. So
I just think that next year, I think Carter will get the calls because he's a young guy, second year guy. I think the way the league is, it takes forever to get guys to get certain respect, and once he gets that respect, and they start calling those holds, his sack numbers are going to skyrocket. Nick Davis super chat goes, Packers defense was atrocious. Can't tackle. Oh my God, The Packers cannot tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was like watching the old Eagles a few years ago when we couldn't tackle anybody. That's what it's like. Man, we're spoiled this year to have a defense that can tackle. I mean, there is no yards after the catch when they play us.
We didn't go on. I don't know if you have any other. Do you have any more supers?
Let me see here. No, I don't think so. I think I got them all.
We didn't talk about this. The new fullback signing, Kari Blazing
yeah.
What did you? We have a Gamewell and a Blazing game. So,
well, I mean, I like the name, and there was like one play that everybody was showing, in particular when he was with Tennessee. He looked like he had some speed once he gets going, but clearly the Eagles blocking fullback tells you that they're running, man. They're going to run up your ass.
yeah,
and that's the way it's going to be.
So
I'm totally okay with it. Bring the fullback back.
The summary to him is he's 28 years old, so they're bringing a vet in right now. Not a guy that's never played the fullback position, trying to make him into a fullback. They're bringing a legit fullback in Philadelphia right now. I think undrafted by the Vikings, went to the Titans, went to the Steelers. I don't think he's played since October 25th, so he's pretty much been sitting home as of right now. So it's been a little bit. So I've seen some clips here or there, but I'm glad that they're, we saw that. I mean, they really haven't used the fullback thing. I know before Ben Van Sumeren got hurt before the Ravens game, on that week of the Ravens game, they really didn't use it that much the last few weeks. But then they put Calcaterra at fullback last week against the Ravens a couple times, like something stupid like that. But now he's on the active roster now.
He's on the active roster. Well. Interesting. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah. No, it's very interesting. Oh, come on. Here we go again. My vacuum just decides to turn on when it wants to. And it just started going. Yeah, I don't know. A blazing game. I mean, they want a blocking fullback. I love it, man. I do. 500. If Sirianni did what Dan Campbell does, he would be getting clowned all week. But Campbell gets flowers for being an idiot. I know it's true. They're acting like he's some genius, and I'm thinking, man, if that was Philly and he got that wrong, like I thought it was insane. Some of his fourth downs, and I think in a lot of ways, to be honest with you, he did one of those against the Niners, if I recall, last year in the championship game. And it came back and haunted them. I think if he does that against the Eagles, he's going to lose. And I don't get it. No, I just don't get it. Like, there's a difference between having balls and then being smart,
Yeah, and it's like this defense, though, is just so different because, like, has the defense really let us down post-bye? Like, no. Realistically, have they been off a beat post bye? Because let me tell you, man, I know we talk about, what if the defense doesn't do well and the offense really has to put points up on the board and they have to pass, they have to pass a lot more. But man, this defense, though, I mean, I've watched a lot of video on other creators or other people that go over film and going over Vic's, how Vic likes to shadow his coverages and it's crazy what Vic does with this defense. I can't even explain all of it, but it's really crazy.
You definitely have yourself a good defensive coordinator who knows what he's doing and knows how to use players to the right way. It's a big difference. Tornaville says that is the start of the alien invasion when vacuums turn on. Dude, well, you know what, man? That stuff is kind of weird. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Do you see all these drones showing up in Jersey and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
It's kind of weird. Have any of you guys out in Jersey seen any of them? Fleet 500 Lion fans are spanking their monkeys right now, thinking they are the best team in the NFL. We got to go beat them. I know. It's crazy. I've been getting a lot of Lion fans commenting you idiots don't know what you're talking. You have no chance to beat us. Blah, blah, how dare you? It's whoa, okay. It's they definitely haven't won before.
Every team every team that is hyped up going into that Eagles game is always exposed every single time. Every time the Saints were like, "Oh, the top passing off." I remember like going into that game, Washington, the lead up to Washington, from that to be one of the biggest games. And what did the Eagles do? Destroy them. And then it was it was his ribs. It was his it was Jaden Daniels' ribs. It was his busted hand. It was he's just a rookie. It was all these excuses. So then it's the Ravens. I mean, it's just they just got to keep putting their head down, going to work. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's what they got to keep doing.
Yeah. Cooper DeJean likes Angelo's cheesesteaks. He was there. Oh, he was there. I haven't gone there yet. That place was not open the last time I was there. So, or when I lived there. So hopefully one of these days I'll go. That's the place I do want to try. But he says 500. PFF has him rated. That's crazy that Malata is that high. I did not know that. But that's amazing. He's a hell of a player. Eagles get no respect even when we won Super Bowl 2018. I know. It's so true. I haven't gone there yet. I haven't had a chance. I truly have faith in this team. I believe the Eagles are going to Super Bowl and win. Look, I feel really good about where we are. I feel great about this team this year. I think that they're on a collision course with Detroit, though. Like I really feel like it's the Eagles and the Lions in the NFC, and then there's everybody else. And then the AFC, they got a lot of good teams over there. So we're only going to hopefully, in my opinion, we play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I want the Chiefs. I want to beat them.
The difference is, like, if they get to a game like this, okay, whether whether you get to the Super Bowl, it's a rematch with the Chiefs, or maybe it's the Bills, or maybe it's somebody else. I don't know. But the good thing about this team is that there are still players on this team that have been, what this game is like. It could really talk to the young guys just about the big stage, and there's so much press. Like that week of the Super Bowl is just so much press, and they just it's just so much that they have to go through just to play one football game. So it's nice to have that.
What did we finish? We had 11 wins last year.
Yeah, 11.
We started 10-1, right?
1-7
then we beat the Giants a Christmas Day, and that was, I think, our last win. So we could go 11-2 tomorrow. Question: can planes just stay still in the air without moving? I saw one earlier driving. No, I don't think planes can stay just still in the air. Drones and helicopters, man, that's freaky. Remember how funny Alshon Jeffrey was Super Bowl person? I remember. Yeah. No, that's weird fitness, man. You saw something else, man. Maybe I can't get into it. I'm gonna get censored. But I'll be putting out another tinfoil dingbat one on the UFO invasion. I already did part 1. I gotta do part 2. Who do you think will fight, the triplet maker or the wife taker? The triplet maker or the wife taker? You're the wife taker. I'm the triplet maker. That's pretty good. We need shirts. Joey, the wife taker and the triplet maker. I like it.
Sure.
Neil says, the speed of the plane, the distance between creates optical illusions. So that's always optical illusions. The rest will be on Kansas City Chiefs side. They always are. Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney is not playing.
Yeah, I saw that.
So what's the dude's name we got from the Panthers again? What was his name?
Charles Harris.
Do you think he'll play? Do you think we'll get to see this guy get some snaps?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see what he could do. I don't know. I mean, I think he should be playing, but I mean, I don't know if they're going to give him a big sample size. I'm not sure, but this would be a good game to do that, maybe. But we'll see.
Yeah. Theoretically, a plane could stand still in the air if the wind was blowing 600 miles an hour. So is that what's category 9 hurricane or something? That's funny. Detroit is the San Francisco of this year. We'll see. I love the Eagles' chances against Detroit. I do. I think we're going to match up really well. And I'm not one of those people that say, oh, they're overrated or they're not so good. Like Derek, that's a good team.
That's a great team.
It is a good team. Offensively, they throw a lot of things at you. They can throw. They can run the ball. They've got multiple good running backs. But I think that the Eagles defense is going to be the difference. I like our defense better.
Yeah, Eagle fans are not used to a defense that looks like this. It's just that's why, like, we talk about every game's pretty much a damn trap game, like all year. Like how many times against the lesser teams, or at least the equal teams that are more of the lesser teams that are, have less talent than us. It's a trap game. It's a trap game, but we got to realize that we're really good, man. Like defensively, we're really good.
We're really good. Yeah. Listen, I just keep saying to myself, like, I'm waiting for Detroit to be Detroit. Like, at the end of the day, they still are Detroit. The Detroit has to come out of the Lions at some point. It just does. Something's got to happen. They're Detroit, But we'll see. We'll see. But let me thank everybody once again for joining us. We're over an hour in. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get on out of here?
No, I think that's it. I mean, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for tomorrow, and let's get in and out of this game as fast as possible, and rest these guys for a really big game next week. So
yeah, definitely, guys. So thank you for joining us. We'll get out of here. We'll both be streaming tomorrow. I'm only doing the Eagles game tomorrow, so we can do the post game right after the game and get it done early, Joey. Because Washington's on a bye week. The Lions already played, and Dallas plays on Monday night. I'll stream that game. So I'm just doing the Eagles tomorrow, and then we can do our post game, and then do Cigar late at night. So it'll be cool. But look, come hang out with us. We'll be streaming, and hopefully we'll see this team just destroy. I want a relaxing Sunday. Like I want them to destroy this team and be done with it. That's what I want.
Same.
With that, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we're going to let you guys go. And once again, check out the Philly Shakedown merchandise. Link is in the description. Definitely go check out the stuff. We got Quignon shirts. We got DB Cooper shirts. Cooper DeJean, but I love the DB Cooper is becoming my favorite quickly. We got to work on the Devontae Smith Argyle shirt. It's a Christmas sweater.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, guys. So thank you, and we're gonna finish this up. We're gonna show you what we got in the store. But with that said, guys, we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.
No. Yeah, dude.
We get our weapons!